session. Oh man, there's already dust on the camera. We're gonna pull it up here, got our trail map and everything like that, so we're ready to roll. I think we're gonna hit up 12. It's kind of one of the easier trails, the green trail, just kind of get out and see what this trail system's like. But man, I'm excited for this. Hope you guys are. So sit back and let's do some riding. Alright guys, as we start down Trail 12 right here, one of the reasons I wanted to go check this trail out is because this trail, even though it's a green ATV trail, it has a rock garden that runs along the side of it. And the rock garden is labeled out in different sections, and each section has its own name. And most of them, especially when you see the trails that have names up here, they are like class 3 buggy trails. The way they got the trail system set out is they have green, blue, and red ATV trails, you know, easy, medium, and hard. Or then they also have class 3, class 4, and class 5 buggy trails, or Jeep trails is what they call them. When you get into those trails, they're pretty cool. A lot of them have names, and they're pretty intense. Like, there's people that come from all over the place just to come check these trails out, especially some of the more well-known ones like the Lion's Den and Mason Jar and Roll Bed and stuff like that. And it's pretty cool that they have these, you know, they're funny names for these trails, but when you get to them, they're really good looking obstacles in terms of like testing out your machine and really putting it to its limits. Now, a little bit more about this trail system in particular, Black Mountain. It's on about 7,000 acres over in eastern Kentucky, and it has some of the highest trails in Kentucky. I'm sure there's probably some outlaw trails that probably go up higher in elevation, but this place is a legitimate place to come ride, and it's a lot of fun. You don't have to worry about, you know, if you're riding outlaw trails, you know, sometimes you worry about trespassing and all that stuff like that. You don't have to worry about that. You come here, buy your trail permit, you're good to go. There's about 150 miles on this trail system, and there's probably a little bit more, you know, depending on if you count some of the little rock crawls and stuff like that. Now, there's 2 trailheads. There's one over in Everett, Kentucky, and there's one in Putney. We stopped at the one in Everett, Kentucky, and there's plenty of parking up there. There's campgrounds. There's really nice cabins. There's a very nice setup they got going on there. Now, in terms of some of the basic rules and stuff like that they got at this trail system, if you come in a side-by-side, you don't have to have a helmet unless you're on a class 5 trail, and or if you go into town. That's the way I read the rules. The rules may change by the time you get there, so read them for yourself and, you know, have your own interpretation for it, stuff like that. Other rules they had was just the basic, you know, no alcohol, wear your harnesses, no fighting, be courteous to employees and other riders, stuff like that. You know, just use, you know, common sense, good trail etiquette, and stuff like that, and you'll be fine. Now, one thing that really threw me off about this trail system was all the stuff I'd researched online. I just seen a ton of rock crawling stuff. And when I got there, you know, rock crawling's not my favorite. I'll do it, but it's not my favorite. And when we got there, I noticed that there was like bypasses around everything. So if you come up here in a stock machine or a 2-wheel drive 4-wheeler, you could still get out there and have a great time. Now, the day that we were riding, it's the middle of June, it's pretty dusty. But one thing that also kind of took me off guard was, from time to time, when you get underneath some of them shaded trees, there's a little mud, you know, it wasn't so dusty, which was nice. And some of the mud holes you see out in the middle of the trails, you got to keep in mind that since this place caters to Jeeps and off-road buggies and stuff like that, if you come up here in a side-by-side or a 4-wheeler, some of those mud holes out in the middle of the trail, they are deep. I mean deep. You better have a winch because you might need it. Now, we'll get into a couple of bad things about this place where I think they could improve. One thing that I like to do before I come to a place, I talk about going online and doing a little research. I like to get online and look at maps and kind of plan my rides out. Well, they said you can order a map, and I didn't really have time to order a map. You know, I was kind of doing it from like a week out, so didn't have time to order a map. I got the map once I got there, and they sold them at the general store, and I ran my tablet GPS while I was, you know, out on the trails, and I could definitely tell by just the layout of the mountains, and, you know, I had a topographical map, so it was definitely matching up with stuff that I was seeing on their map. But at the same time, it sucks because sometimes you just want to be able to, you know, use the GPS, know exactly where you're at, know where you need to turn off and stuff like that. So that's one place I think they could definitely improve on this trail. Now another thing that I noticed was we were riding in the middle of June again. You notice everything's green, everything's grown up, there's a lot of foliage. It's hard to see some of the trail markers. Now the thing that's different about these is a lot of off-road systems for like side-by-sides and four-wheelers and stuff like that, when you see the trail markers, they're normally like on the side of a road, like a little sign, like a stand, you know. A lot of these are like nailed up high on the trees, and I'm sure it's probably because of the Jeep riders and stuff like that, because those buggies are, you know, significantly taller. But at the same time, if you're not used to that, it will definitely throw you off. Now, one of the best things I think about this place, that this place does better than any other place I've ridden, is just the number of things to see on the map. You might not always see them, you might drive right by them and miss it, but they got something labeled on the map for you to go look at, and that's something that I enjoy doing. Like when I get out and go riding, my favorite thing is just to go to different places on the map and see what they have labeled out there. Like I like to get out and explore. I like to cruise, go fast, like, you know, from time to time hit a little mud, do a little rock crawling, but I like having like a goal, you know, like, hey, my goal is I want to go to this place called the Little Stadium, or hey, my goal is I want to go see this goldfish pond or this dam or this overlook, you know. So that to me really makes a ride when you have things to go do and things to go see. You know, it kind of gives you a purpose while you're out there. Like, hey, I want to go see this. And they have a ton of places, a lot of them really cool, definitely worth checking out. Yep, see, the dust is pretty bad today. Now, as we about to change clips here, you can see right here up on the tree, there's what I was talking about, how high the signs are. They're way higher than what you're normally used to. Alright, so as we're starting down this new trail here, it's kind of hard to tell on camera, but this is actually a red ATV trail. You know, it's nothing too crazy or anything like that. It's a little steep if you're from somewhere where you're used to flat ground. This place will definitely, you know, it'll have you shell shocked, because, you know, there's some steep stuff. You're going to be on some high elevations. If you don't like heights and stuff like that, you you got to be prepared, because that's just what this place is like, and it's pretty cool if you're into that kind of stuff, though. Now, real quick, if you haven't done so, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me. You know, hit the like button. You know, we're trying to grow the channel, trying to get up to that 1,000 subscriber mark. It'd be awesome when we hit that thing. And I appreciate all you guys watching the videos. You guys are awesome, and your support really goes a long way. We appreciate you guys. So as we come up to the top of here, you know, this is kind of a funny story. Our goal was we were headed to the little stadium at the time right here, and we said we're going to take this trail 26, this red ATV trail. We're going to take it, we're going to come across, and we'll connect back in with another trail, and we're going to make our way down the little stadium. So as we come up to here, we're going to see an intersection, and where we weren't used to the signs being up high, we're used to them being down low, like on most of the other ATV trails. Right here, Trevor says, which way do we need to go? I said, I don't know, really. Let's just go left, because I couldn't see any signs. Now, as we start down through here, as I went back and I've looked on camera, up there in the top left-hand corner, there's a sign that says Frankenstein. Did not realize that at the time. I was like, yeah, whatever. So we just start going down through here, and, you know, mentally, I don't think the group was necessarily ready for this trail, because this is a class 3 buggy trail. Like any of the trails, like I was saying earlier, that have names, is normally a little bit harder of a trail. They're made for the big Jeeps and the buggies and stuff like that. So, you know, going down through here, at this point, I really hadn't noticed anything had changed dramatically. You know, I was just thinking, hey, I'm still on that red ATV trail, no big deal. And then here in a minute, it starts to get a little steeper and a little steeper. It'll be for a pretty good story. You know, nothing bad came out of the end of it. You know, all of us, you know, are pretty experienced riders, and, you know, we like to test our machines from time to time, so it wasn't no big deal. But at the time, it was a little funny. Well, it's still funny now, but it's still, you know, it makes for good memories and stuff like that. And this right here is probably like right here where he starts slowing down and it starts getting really steep. This is where I definitely noticed. I was like, man, something's different. This trail has changed. And then later on, I was looking at my tablet and I realized, hey, this is that Frankenstein trail. And then when I looked at the video, sure enough, that was it. Now, as we go down this trail called Frankenstein, keep in mind that we're going down it, so it's a little easier. Now, if you were to be going up Frankenstein, I'd say it'd be significantly harder, especially this part right here that the Trevor's coming up to on that KRX right there. You kind of watch his machine. He's easing off going down through there. If you had to come up right through there where he just bounced around and stuff, it's pretty good sized ruts and stuff. It's a little bit of a rocky ledge drop off, and then you got a big rock right there on the left that kind of puts you in one set of ruts. So it'd be significantly harder if you were to try to come up this trail. Going down a really hard trail, it's a lot of times a little easier than coming up one. But if you're trying to go down this trail, by all means, it won't be too hard. But if you're trying to go up it, you're going to have a lot harder time. Now, we're going to transition over to some mud right here. Show you a few clips of it.
Woo. I think you first. Huh? I think you first. He got the big paddle tires. He's a little better equipped than we are.
Hey, Clyde, you got the tires.
See?
The high lifter's calling it out, says I want some of that mud hole, baby.
You make it through it. I don't know whether to hit it now or wait till on our way out. Because I guarantee you I'm going to be neck deep.
So we talked about it off camera, and we decided that we was going to hit it on the way out, and we ended up not getting back to that spot. But it is what it is. We'll get it one day.
Man, I'm soaked right now. Oh, son, his hat flew off and everything.
That one got a little hairy.
Oh, son. Well, there's nothing like some good mud. Love it. Love me some mud. You're pushing a lot of mud right there. You were pushing mud. Pushing it again. Yeah, you're pushing a lot of mud with the front bumper right there. It's time to play a little bit. Say it's time to play a little bit. Four low. Here we go. Oh crap.
So this is some of the stuff you can find up here at Black Mountain. There's a lot of little hill climb stuff like this. This one was located over at the stadium. All right, so now we moved over to another part of the map. It's called the Little Stadium, and you can just watch by Trevor going off here. He's got his brakes on, but his machine's still sliding. It's a lot steeper than what it looks on camera, and he's just trying it out, playing around, having fun. Cloud's gonna take a turn at it now.
Ah, it got me with the rocks. Well, it don't look like much. There, right there's a pretty serious little rock space. Got a couple guys playing up in there from our crew. It's called the Real Band, I'm pretty sure. Real Band, class 4. You got a serious machine making up that part.
So this is the last part of the video for today. You're going to check out the next video if you want to see how this clip turns out. And until next time, I'll see you guys on the trails.